In this video, we are going to see how you can use SendX for growing your business by outbound prospecting. If you are a B2B business, then typically you would be reaching out to your potential clients and explaining them your value proposition. However, the problem with that is you reach out to thousands of users and only a few of them reply. Following up on these conversations is extremely hard. This is where a platform like SendX can help you in making your outreach program extremely productive. So over here you can find a drip sequence which we have pre-created. The first email by Awesome Inc. is explaining the value proposition of it to its potential clients. The second email, which is sent after 4 days, is a follow-up email in order to set up a quick Skype call. And the third email is again another second level follow-up in order to set up a call or to talk in person in the prospective client. Usually what happens is most people won't reply to your first email. So out of 1,000 people, typically only 100 of them, 100 of your potential clients will reply it. So you have to do a follow-up to remaining 900 people in order to see whether your company's proposition makes sense for them or not. However, doing that manually is extremely time consuming. Similarly to your second mail, also only a few people will reply back, and doing next level of follow-up will eat most of your time. So today we'll see how we can automate this entire process using SendX. So let's quickly go and create a tag for users who will reply to our outbound prospecting drip. Let's call it reply to outbound prospect drip. Having declarative tag names help in understanding why and how they have been used. Once we have done that, let's quickly create an automation rule. Now what we want is any user who has replied to even a single drip sequence is actually tagged. So let's say any user who replies to an outbound prospecting drip sequence, let's add them a tag, and also let's unsubscribe these users from the drip. So once a user has replied to outbound prospecting drip, there's no point in sending them any further emails. Just to explain it a way better, say you send your first email to 1,000 users, say 100 of them end up replying back. So you don't want to send your second email to the 100 users who have replied back. Rather, you want to send the second automated email only to the 900 people who haven't given any response. So this automation rule will make it possible. So let's call it unsubscribe prospects who have replied automation. Let's submit this automation. Once we have done it, our entire drip sequence will only go to set of users who haven't replied to our emails. Now, in order to start a drip sequence, let's quickly create a list. Let's call this list as leads. Now let's create another automation rule. Let's say any user who subscribes to this list, for them outbound prospecting drip starts. So let's call it outbound prospecting automation. Now let's go back to a earlier created list of leads. Let's import basically a potential leads in this list. So I've selected SendX.csv and let's quickly map these columns. So I've mapped email name and now I'm mapping the company name. Let's click on submit. So all these users have been successfully added. And for all these leads, the drip sequence has already initiated. So you can see Ashley Jones has successfully subscribed to outbound prospecting drip. Now let's quickly see what happens when a user ends up replying to this drip sequence. So say this is one of the leads and he has got an email from Kathy from Awesome Inc. And he ends up replying, I'm interested in the offerings of Awesome Inc. How to take this forward. Let's press on the send button. Once this has been done, let's go back and see the activity timeline of this particular lead. So we can see that this particular lead, after getting the email, ended up both opening it as well as replying to the drip email. Post which our earlier set automation rules got triggered. As a result, this lead was removed from the drip sequence. So he won't be getting any further emails, which is follow-up email second and third. Also, reply to outbound prospect drip tag got added to him. In this fashion, SendX can help in scaling your outbound outreach efforts. We hope that you have enjoyed this video and we hope that it will help you in your outbound prospecting efforts.